this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
What's up, y'all? Summer's got a different tempo. Everything's a little looser, brighter. One plan turns into another. You hear something, you stay a little longer. Next thing you know, you're somewhere you didn't plan to be. It's those in-between moments. That's where the ideas hit. Conversations stretch out, little memories sneak up on you. And sometimes it's just about what's in your hand. That color, that chill. The new Tropical Butterfly Refresher from Starbucks. Guava and passion fruit flavors with mango pineapple flavored pearls. Yeah, that feels like summer before you even taste it. Funny how one small stop becomes the best part of the day. Start your summer rhythm with Starbucks. Try the new Tropical Butterfly Refresher from Starbucks.
Hey everyone, it's Cal Penn. I'm inviting you to join the best-sounding book club you've ever heard with my podcast, Hearsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club. Every episode, I nerd out with amazing guests and dive into the best new audiobooks available on Audible. It's the book club for your ears. Listen to Hearsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. I've been scouting these big carriers for a minute now, and I've seen them pull the same play 1,000 times. They promise you the world, then hit you with a price hike right when the game gets tight. But Boost Mobile, their $25 a month unlimited wireless plan is the most consistent player on the floor. No contracts, no price hikes. Unlock the savings today at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months of the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
When Kohler, global design leader in luxurious kitchen and bath products, asked me to be their ambassador for timeless, elegant, durable cast iron, I said, I'm in. Soon after, I was in their Kohler, Wisconsin foundry, watching molten iron poured, enamel applied by hand, and the beautiful finished pieces ready to ship. Since 1883, Kohler cast iron has been crafted by incredible artisans, and seeing it firsthand gave me a whole new appreciation for their craftsmanship. Now, I'm proud to lend my stamp of approval to my favorite Kohler cast iron products for their durability, beauty, and enduring style. Shop my curated picks at Kohler.com. As the Kohler cast iron ambassador, I say, long live cast iron.
Intro, go! Laugh with me when the rent's past due and the car won't start. Laugh with me when the only sponsor is my broken heart. We're hanging on this janky stream, two weird voices in the glow of a screen. If the world won't sing, then let it laugh with me.
Welcome back. It's a brand new episode. This is Laugh With Me, the podcast with Jeremy Odem, and I'm your host.
Jeremy stares at the stats and shaking over takeout boxes. Johnny's already mapping hotels on a napkin with greasy crosses. They quit jobs they kinda hate it. Tell their bosses, catch the show. Boss just shrugs, hope it's funny. Johnny grins, you'll never know.
Hey, it's J.O., and thank you to everybody who listens, but especially thank you to everybody who's listening on Apple Podcasts, cracking us back into the top 200 comedy podcasts in the United States. Johnny, I'm telling you, we got to be doing something right. I don't know if it's the people that we're talking to, if it's that banger of a theme song from the Pepper Spray Singers, if it's your producing, I don't know what the magic is. But thank you to everybody who does listen to the pod. And of course, you can find us anywhere. You can find us on the free iHeartRadio app and Spotify and, of course, the YouTubes. Yes. Well, today we have an amazing guest. He's done just about it all. He's not only conquered the comedy world, where he's done everything from producing, hosting, headlining big shows, including arenas. This guy, also, you can hear him on morning radio across the United States. He's just released his first children's book, Mikey Finds His Voice. You can find it out anywhere, but what we're going to really get into is what's going on this Friday, June 26th in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a Friday Night Fights at the Complex. He is the in-ring voice of MMA and boxing at the Complex. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out exactly how he got himself into the squared circle for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Doc Peterson.
So the president of the Boxing Association came into my office on like a Wednesday, and he said, hey, we're doing, there's a local fight. He didn't really tell me too much about it. There's a local fight coming up this weekend, and we need a second pay-per-view guy. Not necessarily the play-by-play, but the guy that can fill in the background and just BS. And I said, sure, yeah, I'll do it. I'm a boxing fan, but I can't do the play-by-play. I don't know enough of the intricacies to do that. He goes, no, we got you covered. Just come in and bullshit with us.
Yeah.
I said, done. So the night before the fights during weigh-ins, I went and I interviewed all the fighters. So I had some background stuff to talk about. The ring announcer didn't show up to do weigh-ins. So I filled in and did weigh-ins that night, just off the cuff. And the next night, the pay-per-view went really, really well. In fact, the guy that was producing it came to us the next day and said, dude, that was awesome. We want to hire you to do more.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I had fun doing this, but that's not really my personality. I'm the over-the-top personality. I want to be the ring announcer. And he got with the owner of the complex, and they said, okay, done. He's out. You're in. Let's go.
Well, that was simple. Well, you have, I mean, and we'll get into it, but man, your background of comedy and hosting and putting together shows, I mean, you were perfect to be front and center in the ring, give them a mic, like, let's go in front of this audience. So it was kind of a perfect fit.
I appreciate that. That wasn't always my life, but it was something that I found later in life, and I ran with it.
Well, on Friday, June 26th, we've got a main event for the Nebraska State heavyweight title belt. Clyde Johnson from Lincoln versus Corey McIntosh in Minnesota. When I saw you did a preview kind of interview there, kind of hyping up the fight. As you're like preparing for these fights, do you get much access to the fighters ahead of time, or is this kind of you have to do your own research and kind of go from there?
All the local fighters I can have as much access to as I want. I've just recently started doing some of those interviews like you saw online. They had other people from the venue doing them from time to time. And I said, look, I'm already the face and the voice of the complex. Let me jump in and I'll do this one, and we'll see how it goes. And we had fun doing it. We actually did like a 20-minute interview, and we edited it down just for that 2.5-minute sound clip that we played on Facebook. But yeah, and it's kind of fun because I've gotten to know all the regional fighters, all the local fighters, and then, of course, you make connections from all over the country as they come in, too.
Oh, absolutely. So what's your favorite? Boxing, MMA? I mean, what do you, like, you feel it in your bones?
Honestly, I would say boxing. I'm back to being a more of a true, tried and true boxing fan. When I first started practicing 21 years ago, MMA was just exploding, especially in the Midwest. And it seemed like every fighter who was anybody was coming into my office to get adjusted. So I was going to a lot of the MMA fights in the early days, following a lot of the UFC and that. And now I've kind of started to switch back towards the sweet science of boxing and understand it a little more. And so I would say overall, yeah, it's boxing over MMA for me.
Man, anytime people say, "Oh, boxing's a dead sport" or whatever, I'm like, go watch a fight and then tell me it's a dead sport. Like the game within the game is so much fun, and if you actually like watch a fight, you fall back in love with it all over again.
Well, and if to anyone who says that boxing is a dead sport, come out to the complex on Friday night and see 1,500 people screaming their ass off at a fight. There's nothing dead about it. In fact, I'm going to let a cat out of the bag here. The complex is doubling their seating capacity. We're going from 1,500 to 3,000 seats this year. And with our ticket sales, we anticipate selling out all 3,000 as well. So there's nothing dead about it.
Wow, 1,500. When you said 1,500, I'm like, that's a good sized venue. But to double down, and I saw you guys have music, that's starting up or has started up, and I mean the complex is very much becoming a big time player.
They are, and what they did was they took an old, it was called Champions Fun Center, and they gutted it. And they turned it into just this huge event space. And so we've already started with some concerts in there, and we have, I can't say any of the big names that are coming yet because the ink isn't dry on the contract yet, but we have some big names, some rock bands coming from the 80s and 90s that are going to come through. We have a couple of big one-off Mexican celebration shows coming in. I think I can say that Los Lobos is coming in. Oh, wow. So we have, and for those shows, since they're not seated, our capacity is 2,500, 3,000 people for those shows. And we expect every bit of that. So we're taking the place of like the old Pershing Auditorium in Lincoln. And, things that aren't quite Pinnacle Bank Arena size. Mm-hmm. Now those are going to the complex,
which is much needed in Lincoln for an indoor facility. Yeah, very much so needed. So what's your role in this then? Like I guess I'm not aware of kind of your hand in hand like relationship there at the complex.
So I'm a hired hand, but if you talk to anyone who is involved with the complex, we are a family. And so Tommy Arciaga, the owner, he pretty much says, if you work for me, you're family. And I've treated it that way. So everything I do has to reflect his values and their values and project that out as well, whether in the ring or the way that I carry myself outside the ring and interacting with people. Because now it's not just 500 people who saw me at a comedy show. It's 1,500 people who saw me at a fight. And that's month after month after month. It's not just a one-off and then 6 months later another show. We're doing this every month or every other month. So yeah. So I have no ownership in it. But I take a lot of pride in personal ownership in everything that we do there.
And I've been following you for a few years now, and it seems like anything you do, you're all in, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be professional. It's going to run, the way it's supposed to run. Everybody has a good experience. Like I was seriously like looking around. I'm like, all right, you and I started talking, a little bit because I was getting in the mud, and I'm like, where's Doc getting in the mud at? He's not. Like, he's a pro. He's a pro's pro. And kudos to you, man.
I appreciate that. It may look like that from the outside, but let me tell you, before I walk into like a huge show that's sold out with 500 people in the audience, I am shitting bricks. Yeah. I'm not an asshole to any of the performers, but man, I am not fun to be around for that last 20 minutes before I get on stage.
That's awesome. So Friday's fight night, when you're preparing, for your presentation of the fight, what are some things you do to like get prepared to be, the voice of it?
So the week of, especially, I'm really working on the inflections in my voice and making sure that my voice is going to last through a 4-hour show. So it's a 12-minute ride to my office in the morning, at home from lunch, back after lunch, and back after work. And that entire 12 minutes, I am rehearsing my intro, not because I think I'm going to screw up the intro, but because I want to push my voice and have it ready for Friday night. Because the first time you step in front of 1,500 people and you've got that huge sound system behind you and you still can't hear your own voice, you over project, you over push. And so I'm always that week of, I'm pushing my voice to make sure that I have it for the final call of the main event at the last minute at 11 o'clock at night after I've been on the mic for 4 hours.
So are you someone who's, and I'm sure you got many fights, you probably have a card in front of you with all the info, or are you somebody who tries to memorize as much as you can and put that forth to the audience?
So both. A lot of the things that I do are completely memorized, but I always have a card in front of me because you can't forget a sponsor. You can't forget a fighter's hometown or their weight and things like that. They get pretty pissy if you forget where their hometown is or what boxing club that they represent. So I do have a fight card in front of me. I try to just reference it instead of reading it word for word. And And my comedy background has definitely helped with that, because if you've heard any of the love-hate about my comedy, is I never allowed notes on stage.
Right.
I don't care if you tape them to a chair or a stool or on the back of your drink cup. If you brought notes on my stage, it was the last time you ever performed on my stage, because I was paying you better than anyone else pays in the state of Nebraska. I expected professionalism, and my 50-minute set, I didn't have one single note written down anywhere.
Right.
So if I can do it for 50, you can do it for 10.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of that too, where it's like, open mics, whatever. But when it's a paid show, you're expected to put on the show and be an entertainer, and part of that is knowing your act, and there's nothing
your
wrong
material.
With it. Exactly. When you're out there in the bright lights in the middle of the ring, do you feel the adrenaline pumping, much like the fighters themselves? I mean, do you have to do anything to kind of physically get yourself amped up too?
So they play an intro song for me, just like they do for a comedy show, just like they do any of the fighters. They play Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue.
There you go.
They crank that up. They play that for about 30 seconds. And I start all the way up at the top of the venue, next to the DJ booth, and I walk down the hall, walk down the steps, I walk into the ring, and that's kind of my moment to gather my shit.
Yep.
and everyone's like, oh, that's just you being cocky and getting pumped up. And no, that's me biting my tongue in my mouth so that I don't have a panic attack as I start to speak too quickly and hyperventilate, because that crowd energy of fight fans is 10 times what a comedy crowd is.
So
they're there.
And they're there, yeah. And one of the things that I love about like MMA fights, to your point, is Bruce Buffer. I will watch just for him. Like, the fight's the fight. It is what it is. But I'm tuning in for the introductions. I'm tuning in for the winner announcement, because you can tell physically, like, he is 100% in, and he gives just as much as the fighters do. So, like, to your point, I mean, it's a show in itself.
It absolutely is. And I bought it. Like you said, there's nothing in my world that I do half-ass. So that first show that I was the ring announcer, I went out and I ordered the most crazy ass sequin blazer that you could ever imagine. My shoes all match every blazer that I own. Now it's become a thing where I walk in and everybody wants to know, what's Doc wearing? What coat is he wearing? What shoes is he wearing? What's his wife wearing? What is she wearing to match? Because my wife and her best friend come to all the fights together. So she has somebody to sit with, and they both match my coat every night. So it is a spectacle, and we go all in. There's no half-ass here.
I have seen. So I did see that your wife, did she do the like ring cards at one time, or for a fight or anything like that?
Nope. She's just the hot blonde that gets to hang out, sit ringside, and hang out with me and get a great view of the night. That's
awesome. What a family affair. And I have seen, you said the hot blonde. I have seen you do some content with two hot blondes. Is that her sister? Like, what's the story there?
No, that's her best friend. That's her best friend. And she's a boxing fan. And the fact that now my wife has somebody to sit with at those fights is awesome, because I'm working. I don't get to hang out at a table and have a drink or anything like that. So now she gets to go along too and hang out and watch all the fights.
That's awesome. It makes it more enjoyable for her as well. So you do you were telling me that you do some radio work, on all across the country, and I have a radio background myself. I was just very interested in that. So, like, tell me where, I guess, people can hear you and where you're working radio.
So I work for a company called Enchilada Radio, and they are subcontracted through syndicated radio stations from New York to LA. And they provide voice actors for some of the skits that you hear on morning drive shows and morning radio shows. I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but if you listen to morning radio and you hear the horrible date stories or the my boss is an asshole stories, I'm going to tell you that 99.9% of those are voice actors.
Yes.
Like me.
Yes. That's awesome. So do you get like I guess a schedule or anything like that, and it's like, okay, hey, today you are this, and here's your character. Let's go.
Yeah. So I get a call or a text from the agent that I work with, and she'll say, "Hey, are you available on Monday at 10 a.m.? We need 12 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever it is." And then if I'm free, then I sign up for it. They send me a script. Some radio stations, they want you to go literally line by line through their script and say it exactly as it's written, because they have it timed down. They'll say this section should take 13 seconds, and then they're going to take a commercial break, or this section should take 37 seconds, so we're going to take a commercial break. And sometimes they do that so that they can then sell it to other radio stations, and they can put their own spin into it and their own host's voice. They can clip into whatever I've said and respond to it. Other times, the radio station just wants you to have the idea and the premise that they threw forth, and it's all improv. Okay. And sometimes I'm online with another actress. A lot of them that I've done lately are about like catching cheating spouses, things like that. And they're funny and they're weird and they're whatever, but then it's just improv between me and another actress I've never met in my life.
Right.
We're not even on a Zoom call. We're just on a telephone, and we're riffing off each other and telling each other to go to hell and quit banging her sister or whatever else is going on in that script.
People don't realize that morning radio is so much more like sketch comedy than it is, live, interactions. It very much is sketch, and it's always been that way. I mean, and it'll never not be that way.
Yeah, it makes it go so much smoother, because if you don't know who's going to really call in and what kind of personality they're going to have, and if they're going to be able to relatably tell a story and get the facts out in a way that makes sense to the audience concisely and with some humor or with some drama or whatever. So hired actors. Sorry guys, it's not real.
So have you done any other voice work? I mean, I've been reading or listening to audiobooks a lot lately, and as we're talking, you have kind of those deep tones and good inflection that I would hear a lot on like audiobooks. I don't know. Have you done any work like that?
I haven't. My wife keeps pushing me to do it. She wants me to read the smutty, dark romance novels, and he slowly removed her panties, and like, what? I could do that. I'm in. But no, I've looked into it, and it's a lot more in depth than people give it credit for. Sometimes some of these sites, they'll have you read a generic script, and then you just set it out in the universe, and people can click and listen to your soundbite and see if that matches what you want to do or what they want to do or their vision. You can also click on a book, read it, and submit it, and then if they use it, you get 10 cents a page or something ridiculously low.
Wow.
It's a lot of time, and the return on it is pretty low. So I would be doing it for passion and the love of doing it, not to make money, if you're interested in going that route.
Right. And you don't have that kind of time to just be sitting around reading for 10 cents a page. Yeah, that's wild.
No.
Hey, more from Doc Peterson in just a few seconds, but remember, you can find out all of his comedy shows and any other events he has going on at docpetersoncomedy.com. We'll be right back.
You're locked into a lot of things you can't change. Weather, traffic. Hey, stay in your lane! Your wireless carrier's latest price hike. But you can unlock a better way. Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. Switch to the $25 a month unlimited wireless plan. No contracts, no price hikes, and you keep your phone. Stop being locked into their games. Unlock the savings at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line of payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months on the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
Hey everyone, it's Cal Penn, host of Earsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club. This week on the podcast, I'm sitting down with Lily Chu, the author of the Audible original romantic comedy, Just Kiss Already. It's a story about a forensic anthropologist who secretly writes mystery novels, an actress who adapts his book into a film, and what happens when a meme and a media tour collide with a slow burn romance. It's performed by Simu Liu and Philippa Sue, and it is an absolute blast.
When you actually hear the performance you realize that other people are taking your words, and what you thought was kind of a straightforward sentence like, the cat in the corner is black. Mm-hmm. In my head, it's the cat in the corner is black, not the dog, not the gerbil. But someone else might say it, the cat in the corner is black. That's always fascinating to me, how they just bring in all these different nuances and really make it fun and interesting and distinctive.
Listen to Earsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Why is it always chaos when we link up? Because nobody plans anything, bro. Good thing the Rogue's ready like that.
For real. Rain, dirt, whatever. Available all-wheel drive, 5 modes, we still outside.
And they got some kick too. That turbo? Torque is crazy. The most in its class. It moves.
Rogue doesn't mess around. And peep the space. Merch on merch, gear, mics, all of it fits.
Load up, we out. 2026 Nissan Rogue, built for all of it.
Auto Pacific segmentation, 2026 Rogue versus latest in-market competitors in the X SUV mainstream midsize class, excluding electrical vehicles based on manufacturer websites.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Well, you did write a book. Mikey Finds His Voice is out right now. It's a children's book. And tell me about that. How did you, from ring announcing to, radio sketches, how'd you get to this?
So my wife is a first grade teacher. She went back to school late in life and found a new passion, became a first grade teacher. And one day she had me come into her class as a guest reader. And it wasn't just her class. All 3 classes in the first grade group came down. So I had 60 some kids sitting in front of me. And I read a book. I read Where the Wild Things Are. And as you can probably imagine, I was as animated as I could possibly be. I had the kids standing up and growling and roaring and, having a good time. And when I went home, I went, I think I should write a children's book. So I did.
Wow, it's that simple. Tell us about Mikey Finds His Voice. It's
I got it right here.
Awesome, perfect. There you go, little Mikey, little microphone. I love that.
Yeah. So Mikey Finds His Voice is the story of a shy, quiet schoolboy who has a very famous family. Everyone in his family is in the entertainment industry. And he tries different things in the entertainment industry and fails in some way or another throughout his entire life. And about the time that he gives up, he falls into exactly what he was meant to do. And he becomes a professional ring announcer. So a little bit of real life and a little bit of just made up in between. And it was fun to write. It was fun to draw. I drew pictures, and then I had AI help me. And then the editors from Amazon Kindle helped take it to the next level. But yeah, it was a fun book to write. It's 50 pages long, so 26 pages of writing and 26 pictures or so. And it's kindergarten to 3rd grade is where the demographic is for that. Targeting towards obviously 1st grade because that's where my wife is. That's the first captive audience that has to listen to it.
Well, I was just wondering that. Is this already in the curriculum? Mikey Finds His Voice is in the curriculum there?
So I've already contacted Lincoln Public Schools, and they have sent out an email to the media people and the librarians and some of the curriculum people to see what schools would be interested. If every school's interested, I'd come out and I'd read the book, and obviously I'd leave some signed copies behind. And sometimes the PTO picks up and buys 10 or 12 copies and puts them in the library or distributes them into some of the other classrooms. So we're working on that deal right now. August 8th, I think it is. I have a big book signing and release out at the complex where we're inviting several different big groups of kids out. And I'm going to, we have a 20-foot projector. So we're going to put the story on a projector behind me, and I'm going to read the book every half hour or something like that. And we'll have cookies and fun shit like that too. So it is funny if you've ever seen me do comedy, or you've ever seen me in the ring, or ever heard my voice acting stuff, and then go, and he wrote a children's book. So
when I'd seen that you had this children's book come out, I'm like, okay, now I need to know, is it really a children's book, or is it like a parody for adults, like children's book? Because of knowing your comedy, I was like, I wonder where this is going.
Well, one of my favorite books that I used to buy brand new parents is called Go the Fuck to Sleep.
Yeah.
And it's a children's book written for parents with newborns, and it's hilarious and I love it. But no, this is truly for kindergarten to third grade, little kids. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, August 8th at the Complex, the book signing and reading. That'll be a lot of fun. I would be remiss if we didn't talk comedy, even though you're not like actively doing shows currently. Is this something you're putting to bed for good, or are you just kind of biding your time right now?
I never closed the door on anything that was good and successful and fun. In fact, last week, right after we talked the last time, I had a bar in Lincoln hit me up and begged me to produce a show coming up here in August. And I haven't committed completely yet to it. I've already told them that I would not headline it because I haven't been practicing. I haven't been rehearsing that material. So if anything, I would produce it and host it and bring in other people that I felt could rock a show like that. But no, I'll never say never. With the right circumstances and the right group of people and the right venue, yeah, I'd come back again.
Yeah, and you can find all that info, DocPetersonComedy.com. When you were doing shows and producing shows, I mean, you're talking sellouts, full rooms. I know you're very particular about your lineups to make sure you put on, a show that represents your name and it is appropriate for the audience that is there. I mean, take me through, I guess, your thought process there on when you're putting together a show.
So to me, venue is paramount. You need to have a stage, you need to have a sound system, you need to have lighting. If you don't have those three things, you don't have a show. And I believe, and it is my opinion, that most of the comics in the region, Omaha, Lincoln, don't understand business first, and don't understand that if you set the business side of it up for success first, the comedy will be easy. You can hire mediocre comedians and have a fantastic show, but you can't hire great comedians and have a shitty business plan and have a good show. It does not work. And they don't understand that. And no matter how many times I've had that fight, that argument, that talk, they don't get it. And so first thing I look for is, do I have a venue? It has to have a stage. It has to be elevated above the audience. It has to have lighting. It has to have sound. Next, the thing I'm going to look for is how the seating is played out. Notice I haven't said anything about the comedians yet.
Right.
So then I'm going to look for the seating and the layout. Are we at a bar that serves food? And if so, then I want open seating so people come early and they order food and they order drinks and everybody's bar tabs go up and the bar's happy and the waitresses are happy and all that. I look for who is going to attend that particular venue. You have to know your demographic. And that is something that I have preached from day one. It was hammered into my head by a sleazeball producer who I learned more what not to do than what I learned to do from. But one of the things that he taught me was, whatever your brand of comedy is, everything in the show has to represent that.
Yep.
So I know my demographic very well. Through 5 years of doing huge shows all over the country, I know that the people who buy tickets to my show are 35 to 65 years old, women and married couples or married and divorced, but they've had that part of the life experience.
Yep.
Most of them have had children. Most of them work outside the home. All of those pieces go into then the final piece of who I'm putting on the stage. They have to relate to the people who are going to go to the venue, who are going to buy the tickets, who are going to order those drinks, eat that food, and show up. So comedians then are the last piece, but that to me, that's the easy piece. I can't hire for a true Doc Peterson comedy show where I'm the headliner. I know that everyone in the audience is going to be 35 to 65 years old. It's going to be predominantly women and married couples. I can't put a 20-year-old college kid who tells college humor on that stage. He will get murdered. Right. I've done it.
Yep.
And it was horrible. I felt horrible for him, but I was then embarrassed because I had to go out there. I was hosting the show where I put one of these college kids on, and I had to drag his ass off there. I'm like, I don't buzz people. Again, that's something that, I don't have a timer or a light or a buzzer when I'm producing a show. If I tell you I want 10 minutes, then damn it, you better have 10 minutes of material. And if you need to look at your phone and put it on the stool so that you know that, hey, it's 9 minutes, I need to wrap it up and get the hell off stage, do it. But this poor kid, after like 5 minutes, I was ready to yank his ass off stage. I'm like standing next to the stage going, how the hell do I get his attention?
Yeah. Get on.
Go, dude.
Wrap it up, bro.
You're drowning and you don't even realize how bad you're drowning.
Well, that's like I always live by in any business I've been in. Great marketing is like the quickest way to ruin a business because you can draw them in with big names or whatever you want to do, and then you get there, and to your point, the seats aren't right, the acoustics aren't right, the stage is. The floor, like the sound system is non-existent, all those little things. And then people are like, oh, I thought I was coming here for a good time. And this sucks. Like I want my $10, $20, whatever it is back, I've always lived by that. You got to make sure the fundamentals are there. So no, it makes sense why your shows do so well.
Thank you. It was one of those, I didn't set out to be a comedian. I fell into comedy. I was going to support a friend who was hosting an open mic, and it was done at a bar, a really kind of tough blue collar bar where the people weren't interested in the comedy. They wanted to show up on Wednesday night and have a cold beer and a greasy cheeseburger and go home to their wife or kids after a 14-hour day pouring concrete and hanging drywall.
Yep.
And then they had these comedians sitting in front of them. They would go and grab the remote and turn up the TVs to drown out the comedians.
Jesus.
So my wife finally goes, look, I know you love your buddy, and I'm glad you're supporting him doing this. Because at that time, I wasn't on stage. I wasn't doing anything. I was just there as an ass in the seat to support. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. The comedians, you can't even call them comedians. This shit is bad.
Yeah.
So I said, tell you what, there's a different open mic next week at a different bar. I'll get up and I'll do 5 minutes. This is just me and that bravado. Like
I could do it.
Yeah. Do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do 5 minutes. And if I suck, you don't ever have to go to a comedy show ever again. She's like, yeah, I'll take that bet.
5 years later.
5 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got off stage that night. I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof. And as well as I do, at an open mic, people are there for their own benefit. They're there to practice their own shit. They're not there to listen to other comedians. If you catch another comedian's attention while you're at an open mic, congratulations.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
You did something special.
Yeah.
So I got off stage and people were like, hey, that was pretty good. They laughed. And the owner of the bar comes up and he goes, hey, we have an opening in a comedy competition next week. Would you be interested? Now, he had no idea that was my first time on stage, that I only had that 4.5 minutes of material, no. And I went, hell yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
You're once again, I can do that. Yeah. That's great. But sometimes that's how people fall into, something that they are really, really good at, but they just have no idea. And it's just a matter of, like for you, a challenge, a bet, to your wife and being like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't work out, we're done for good. But it did. Yeah. It worked out. You found a passion.
It's been fun. It's been a fun thing to do all over the country and sell out shows and clubs and venues, South Dakota to Las Vegas. And so it's been fun.
So I know you're Complex Lincoln, Nebraska, but you've done a lot of shows in Omaha. Do you keep tabs on Omaha Lincoln comedy? What's your finger on the pulse on it? Like currently, would you say?
Lincoln is struggling. I don't know that they really have a pulse for the comedy scene, and I don't mean that with any disrespect, because there's a couple of new people who are really trying to fill the shoes of some people that were really, 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 really fucking horrible. They're trying, and so I give them all the credit in the world for trying and trying to elevate it and bring it in line with the venue and the lights and the sound and the comedians and all the things. Omaha is the most welcoming comedy group that I've ever been around.
Really?
As long as you do it exactly the way they want you to do it.
There it is. I was waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't do it their way, and whatever their way is, if you don't do it exactly like they think you should do it, you are an outcast immediately. And I was an outcast immediately because I didn't know their little rules. I didn't know their little, hey, this is the way we do it, so you have to do it that way. And when I do podcasts for other shows talking about comedy specifically, I always tell up and coming comedians and people who are aspiring to go to the next level, whatever the next level is for them, if you see comedians in a particular scene and they've been doing what they're doing for 10 years and they're still in that scene, don't do whatever the fuck they are doing.
Right.
Do the exact opposite of what they are doing, because they've been doing it for 10 years and they're still in Omaha, Nebraska, doing it for $35 and a cheeseburger if they're lucky.
Yep.
Don't do that. So do something different. And that's exactly what I did. So they don't like it.
Who do you have, like, I guess I'm sure you've got folks that you look up to that you're like, this person's doing it right, or this somebody who I've kind of idolized, you know, and not necessarily in the scene or anything, but somebody that I've taken a lot of inspiration from, that I could say, hey, watch this person, like this person's doing it right.
So I think that goes back to speaking about the kind of comedy that I did. And the kind of comedy I did was I was a storyteller. Everything I said on stage was rooted in truth. Everything that came out of my mouth at a comedy show started as something that really happened in my life.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's easier to remember.
Yep.
You don't screw up the details. You don't screw up the timeline. If you lose your place, you know exactly where you were because you really lived it.
Yep.
Now you embellish the details, you change some things, you convict the innocent and protect the guilty and do those kind of things. But because it was real, I never lost place at a comedy show ever. I never stood on stage in the middle of a set and went, oh shit, what comes next? Because I didn't make it up. It was real.
Yep.
And the audience may not know it, but everything I said also came in a logical timeline in my brain. So it wasn't like I told a story in a chronological order with this happened and this happened and then this happened in my life. But the way I put it together, it made sense in my brain again. So I never got lost. So the people that I look up to and modeled myself after, if you will, would be like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer.
Yep.
They're both storytellers.
I was thinking Bert when you were talking about that. Yep.
Yeah. Everything they say started with something that really happened in their life. Fortune Feimster. I love her. Yes. Her stories are off the wall, but you know damn well that most of that really happened, and then she just took it to the next level. And I love that. I appreciate it about that. And it shows it shows some vulnerability. And people can relate to that. Hey, this happened to me in my real life, and this is how we made it funny. Or this is my experience in life, and this is how I turned it into a positive, or whatever. Yeah. Or the world shit on me, and let's all laugh together at it because it was funny. But people relate to that because it's real.
Yeah, I think that's something that people forget. Like even your worst moments, if you can find a little humor in it, people will too, because they love when you're the butt of the joke, and that's content. Like that's material. Like take it to the stage. Like that stuff's real, and they can connect with real.
people don't realize how many funny things happen to them in a day. And if they just took a sticky note and wrote down, okay, this happened to me today. How do I make that into a bit? Or how do I embellish that or add that to a larger story of random shit that my children have done or my wife has done to me or whatever? And I mean, you talk about the good and the bad. My wife passed out in the shower after a comedy show.
Yeah.
I made this into a whole bit, so this isn't anything that I haven't said before.
Yeah.
My wife's beautiful round ass landed on the shower drain.
Oh, my.
And so the shower filled with water, and it flooded my basement.
Oh, no.
I had to rent a shop vac. I had to go rent a rug doctor from Hy-Vee at 4 a.m. and clean out my basement because I had 21 gallons of water in my fucking basement that came through the ceiling because this beautiful blonde's ass plugged the shower drain, filled up the bowl, and overflowed. And I only found out, because I was passed out in bed, because the water turned cold finally,
yeah,
and it woke her up.
It's like, what can your ass not do, girl? It can do it all.
So you talk about real life and people that can relate to stupid shit that happens to them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, how does she handle when you take a story like that to the stage? Can she find the humor in it and laugh at it? Or is she like, come on?
She's a good sport. Good. There's been very few times that I've said stuff that she's like, really? You're going to tell them that?
Yeah.
Like, so usually I have to equal it out with something equally as bad on my part.
Yep.
So that, we're equalizing the playing field. But she's a great sport. She takes it all in stride. She knows that, it's provided a good side income and a lot of fun and a lot of experience. She everywhere I went, she toured along with me. So she got to go and experience all that stuff too. So
yeah, it makes it a lot more fun. Yeah. All right. This is something I ask every guest at the end here, or I've started to do. My shower song is the Thong Song by Cisco. This is something that is my go-to when I'm belting out in the shower. What about you? What's your kind of go-to song when you're in the shower and you're just belting it out?
If I'm doing it for myself, it's going to be Simple Man. I'm going to do the Shinedown version. I do play guitar a little bit, so I'm going to crank that one up, and I'm going to sing that one in the song. I have a horrible singing voice. It's probably one of the top 10 worst singing voices you've ever heard in life.
Yeah.
But that does not stop me from singing at the top of my lungs. Now, if I'm trying to shoot a shower Snapchat to my wife and I'm singing a song, it's going to be like one of the theme songs from one of those dirty romance books or movies. And, I'm doing the shower.
Exactly. That's why Thong Song's my go-to, because it's so theatrical. You said you play guitar a little bit. Have you thought about, busting it out for the national anthem before the big fight on Friday?
That's a lot of pressure. I love to play guitar. I'm not good at it. There's a reason I'm not a famous rock star.
Yeah.
I am barely average. I've gotten on stage with a lot of my friends that play in cover bands over the years, and that gets out that little bit of creative juice, that little bit of love for live music and things like that. But to perform the national anthem live in front of a crowd like that with just me and my guitar, that scares me way worse than standing up and telling jokes or announcing or anything else. I'd have to think real hard on that.
So you won't see him play guitar on Friday, but he is the in-ring voice of Friday Night Fights at the Complex, Friday, June 26th. This is in Lincoln, Nebraska. Also, you can get tickets, Nitro tickets, and you can watch it on pay-per-view. DocPetersonComedy.com. We've got the book, Mickey Finds His Voice, out now. What else you got to promote? Did I miss anything?
No, that's it. It's Mikey Finds His Voice. It has its own it has its own Facebook page. So if you want to follow that one, and I'll put up events and signings and fun stuff like that. I do donate a portion back to some local charities as well. So go and support that. Look for a comedy announcement possibly coming up. It kind of depends on if they put it all together and do that, but that would be probably in August, the soonest they can put that together. But everything else, you can find it on my regular Facebook page, is Jeremy Peterson. I'll put any fun things that I'm doing up, I'll put those right there.
He's a fun follow, especially when you got around fight time. You got some good stuff that always comes up. So make sure to check him out there at Jeremy Peterson. Man, thank you for coming on the show. It's been a long time coming. I know we kind of talked about it a while back, and it was good to get you on. And as we go forward, I mean, when you get back into comedy and get some shows going, let's do it all over again.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Hit that intro, go! Laugh with me when the rent's past due and the car won't start. Laugh with me when the only sponsor is my broken heart. We're hanging on this janky stream, two weird voices in the glow of a screen. If the world won't sing, then let it laugh with me.
Hey everyone, it's Cal Penn. I'm inviting you to join the best-sounding book club you've ever heard with my podcast, Earsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club. Every episode, I nerd out with amazing guests and dive into the best new audiobooks available on Audible. It's the book club for your ears. Listen to Earsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Maintenance fee, overdraft fee, minimum balance fee, maximum balance fee. Banking fees are just a part of modern life. Or are they? They're not at Ally Bank. At Ally Bank, there are no tricks, no hidden fine print or jumping through hoops for better rates. They just want to help you save automatically while you spend, with spending accounts and savings tools with great rates. No tricks, no hidden fees, banking built for life today. Learn more at ally.com. Ally Bank. Member FDIC.
Paramount Plus is now the home of all your BET favorites.
What? Yes!
With all new episodes of Tyler Perry's Divorce Sisters.
You've always liked a little drama.
Plus a whole new world of movies like Gladiator 2.
Now I will control an empire.
Original series like The Chi.
Just make sure we protect each other.
And live sports like UFC.
Welcome to the history books!
New home, same family. Your BET favorites are now on Paramount Plus. Subscribe now.
Running a business shouldn't feel like surviving a software group project. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales. And somehow, none of them talk to each other. That's where Odoo comes in, an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, all in one powerful platform. No messy integrations, no bouncing between tabs. And best of all, no spreadsheets. Stop managing software and start managing your business with one unified system. Try for free today at odoo.com/iHeartRadio. That's ODOOO.com/iHeartRadio.